So hello everyone, I am Saurabh Jadhav. Today I am going to take a webinar on a Python. So this Python webinar will be totally introduction to what is Python, how you will gonna use it. So as I discussed earlier with the other participants who are in the same group, so many people are really newbie for the programming languages. Some have an engineering degree, but not that much deeply. They have not properly used this. So I want the aim of today's webinar is to everyone should get understand what is really Python and how they can use it. So you will start first. What is Python? So what is Python? The Python is a scripting language known for both its simplicity and wide variety of application. For this reason, it is considered one of the best languages for beginners. So the people who are already used to the programming languages, just like a C and Java programming languages, they should know how it is complicated to program even a simple application. Just like if you want to do a calculator, if you want to automate something, the main reason of Python was developed to make it everything simplify. To even if you are non-programmer, you are from the commerce background, you are from other background, not from the IT, you can do Python very easily because the simplicity of the Python is very awesome and it is very easy to write and understand. Basically, it is said that Python is just like a pure English, so you don't have to worry about if you never done any programming before. I will make sure everyone should understand properly. So after doing what is Python, let's new. So whetting your appetite. If you do too much work on a computer, you know there are some tasks. For example, sending certificate for doing this certificate, or if you want to make some slides, if you want to edit some images, if you want to scrap some data, you there's some hectic process. No? Feeding the data into the Excel sheet, just like a normal human, the time has gone. Now everyone works on automation. Everything works on automation. Every industry, either it is your IT industry, either it is a management industry, financial, everywhere there is automation, and for that Python will feed your appetite. For example, if you wish to perform search and replace or large number of text files, if there are a large number of text file, okay, bunch of books or ebooks, and you want to extract the specific text from it, you can use Python for same. You can rename large number of files, large number of photos, you can classify them. And for the main important thing, today's machine learning and artificial intelligence, the Python is used very widely because its simplicity, because it focuses on what you really want to do rather than being complicated and being confused with the programming language itself. So Python is very easy, and what my aim today is to get to you, it is simplify how you can do it. And whatever, don't worry, the whole session will be fully practical. It will not be a theory lecture that I will grab you some concepts about this is Python, these are features. I'm not interested in this. Okay, it is okay to understand some things about some concepts. What are the 7 features of Python, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages. What I want, you do Python, you do practice. After this session, you realize what are the advantages of it. So don't worry if you are beginner, no problem. You'll be totally be used to it. What it is exactly. If you're intermediate, if you already done something, you already have done on C and Java, it's okay. You will love the Python for sure. I can guarantee you. And if you are expert, you already done. If you want to polish your basics again, then this seminar is of course for you. And don't worry, the workshop will be 100% practical and simple. All program will be practically explained. It is not some theory concept I will be talking about because programming language should be practical always. So don't worry about the forgetting the code. Whatever code I will be writing on this seminar, webinar, will be given to you after the webinar. Okay. So don't try to mug up the things here. Ultimate goal you should understand in this webinar, you have to grasp what really is happening. That is very much important. If you forgot things, it is human nature, you can forget things. Not a single programmer here is means remember everything. You don't have to remember everything. Okay, just grab the concept what it is and practically how you can implement this. After this webinar, you can use Google, man. You can use Google. It is very good. First you have to understand what it is really, what are the many ways to implement that thing, and if you know that basic things now, you can do anything you want. So let's get started. The first step is the install the Python. And if you have installed the Python, you're a king, your life and create awesome program. So first thing we will get over the browser and we will write the Python ideally. Again, I'm asking, is I'm audible to everyone? Let's check the chats again. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, is my voice coming properly? Yes, okay. So let's again move toward it. Okay, so this is the download Python. This is the official website of the Python where you can download the Python IDLE. So what is Python IDLE? For if you are using the Windows, okay, don't worry about my computer screen. This is the Ubuntu, the Linux distribution. You can download this by clicking on here. I have already downloaded it, and but I am going to use a different text, which is a Sublime text. So what is Sublime text? Don't worry about it. Sublime text is nothing but a text editor. What is text editor? It is your simple notepad. And what's the beauty of Sublime Text? I like it. You can run any programs in it, and it will make you write a code very efficiently. So I'm going to use this Sublime Text, and the way I'm going to implement the program by the command line. So you will also get used to it. So not stick to any ideally. I will prefer you will understand the basics, and don't worry about if you don't understand what properly. After the session, there will be 30 minutes, so we will solve any doubts, personal doubts, if you have any. And still our group is there for any doubts. So this is the ideally for Windows you can download it, and I'm going to use the Sublime Text. For Windows also you can download it, and for Linux, which is my Ubuntu distro, so I'm going to use it. So let's again visit my Sublime Text. Don't worry about this. I already written this. So what is this actually? You can write anything here. This is simple text editor. I will make font size smaller and bigger according to the screen, so you will get what is really happening. And I'm going to use a terminal for executing the program. So let's again move toward the slide. So first thing first, how to print. The main screen from any programming language, you have to print something. And the first thing is a baby word. When a new baby is born, what they say in our programming field, we say that the first word program will say is a hello word. It's the very first program any programming will do. If you are done C, if you are done Java from the college syllabus, you should know then first program you always do is hello world. If something lucky, let's see. So what is the print function? Let's do it. Grab it. So the first thing first, you have to create a file. And what is the file actually? Where we gonna save it? So I'm saving in PyWeb webinar. So what I'm saving here is so all the details. I will forward all the files from you. Okay. So it is our first program. So I will write it first. Hello world. Now the important thing, you have to write .py. And why it is the .py extension? Do you understand .py? The .py extension is very important. It indicates the file you are saving. It is the Python file. If you have done other programming, okay, you know the .c extension shows it is the C programming file. If you have done Java, the .java, it is the Java file. The .class, the Java class file. If you have seen any PDF, .pdf means it is the PDF file. So it's sort of like that. So we will save it and I'll create the drawings. Okay, first hello world.py. So what have we written here? So we haven't written anything still. Making everything. Let's see here. Okay. So first thing first. So I'm going to write print. This is the function print. So within the bracket, I will write the double quotes and I will write hello world. What will happen? I will save this thing and I will going to open container folder. So this is the way you can implement this in the Ubuntu. And this first hello world, can you see the .py extension? I will open the terminal here. If you are using the Windows, okay, for Windows also I'm telling what you have to do. You have to write Python and the file name. What is the file name? Let's see. Okay. What is the file name? The file name is first hello world.py. First hello world.py. If you are using Windows, then you have to write it. I am using Ubuntu, so I have to write Python 3. If I am going to enter, then this program will run. Now what is this? I am going to zoom it. Okay, I hope it is visible again. I am asking again for the terminal. Let's see. Reply in chat. If you are experiencing no sound, please enable. Who is asking? Shady, Mr. Shady. If you are experiencing no sound, click on the join audio. Click on join audio. And can you see the terminal properly? Yes? Okay, so no problem. So hello world. So what basically we have done? So this is our program. Okay. Print hello world. What does print does? It print the text inside this parenthesis. Okay. So this Python 3 says, okay, this command says run this file. The file name is first hello world.py. The Python 3 says run this file, and what this file contains is print hello world, and it is run. So congratulations, you have done our first program, which is the hello world. So we move on to the slide. What it is right now? It's showing the variable a equal to 1 and print hello world. So don't worry if you can see this. Okay, you will again write a code. Now what is hello world? How to use print properly? Yes. Okay. So what we can, the print function can print anything inside it. For example, if I am writing print here, okay, I will make it clear. Again, I will write the print here. We can write numbers also in it. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4. You will save it again and we will execute the same thing. Let's see. I'm going to run again. 1, 3, 4. It has displayed the 1, 3, 4 again. We can use comma operator here. For example, okay. For example, you have to write roll number. I am writing here in the same parenthesis roll number. I can differentiate it in comma. So you can see there are two strings here. First string says roll number and second string says 134, and it is separated by the comma. Now we will run it again. Roll number 134. Now I have a question. The number we are entering in this, is it mathematical number or not? Let's try it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, how we can say it is mathematical numbers or not? So we'll write number 3. What 3 plus 3 should give? 3 plus 3 should give. And you guys say 6 should be output. Let's see. No, it had displayed the 3 plus 3 as it is, because this parameter, when we say double quotes, it is considered as a string, and it is considered as string, and whenever you write anything inside the parentheses, it will be displayed as it is. If you have any doubts, make it sure to write it down. I will clear it after the session. Okay, so don't worry about it. So this will display as it is. So how we can say it is a number. So for the numbers, you don't have to write any double parentheses here, okay, double quotes here. You just have to write numbers. Print 2, 3. Let's see. It is a 2, 3. It displayed as it is. I am clearing the. Okay, 2, 3. Display as it is. But let's see, is it work any operations here? For example, 2, 3 plus 32. It works. Let's see, we have to run it. I am saving again by control plus S. I am running the same program again. So it's 55. So what does it mean? So it does mean for the numbers you have to write as it is, and for the string to display as it is, we have to write anything in the double quotes. Okay, let's see. Okay, you will get can hear how we will get. Okay, any certificate about us questions about certificate you will get after the seminar, and you have to fill the form. I will give the form to everyone, so don't worry about it. Now focus on the seminar. Okay, so print 22 plus 32. So now can we do string plus numbers? Let's see. Sum, let's see, sum of 23 plus 32. So as we know, this will print as it is. We will put the comma here and control plus S. So it will display. Let's see. So it have displayed it, the numbers as it is. It will perform the calculation for it, and for the strings within the double quotes, it displayed as it is. So let's move toward the next slide. Yeah. So play with the numbers. Yeah. Look here. We can perform all the arithmetic operations here. The operators, if you can't see properly, I will again do it. Okay, no problem. Exponent, modulus, integer, division, multiplication, subtraction, addition. We can do anything here in the Python. Let's see how we can do this. Okay. Arithmetic operations. Arithmetic operations. Yeah. Ignore these mistakes. Okay. Arithmetic operations. So we will write the print statement here. Okay. First we will show addition. We already done it. Okay. So 2 plus 2. This is common. Let's see it will work. It will work for sure. It had done the 2 plus 2 equal to 4. We will do subtraction. 2 minus 4. 2 minus 3. It should return minus 1. Let's see it does or not. Yes, it had done. So mathematic operation also done, like plus or minus. We can also do multiplication here. Okay. For multiplication, you have to star. For who are new to the programming, for multiplication symbol, we use star. 2 into 5. Let's see. 4 minus 1, 10. It is correct. And for the division, there are two things you have to keep in the mind. Print. Okay. I will write here division. What it is. So okay. So 10 divided by 5. When I do this, okay, what happens? Let's clear it again. Okay. So division is 2. When I say 10 divided by 5, wait, what happened? Okay, no problem. So when we did 10 divided by 5, so it 10 divided by 5. But this is the something, this is the reminder. What if we want the modulus? For the modulus, what you have to do is, I will copy the same sentence here, and you have to do this, the percentage symbol, and this will be the modulus. I'm going little slow here. Okay, so grasp what it is really. So what have you done here? Okay, so modulus is 0. If you can see properly. Okay, yes, make it clear again. Yeah, modulus is 0. So this is, if you know, when you divide something, there is upper part, this is called as the modulus, and the remainder part which gives you the 2 here. Okay, so this was the arithmetic operation we can do with the Python, and with the help of this we will make a calculator today in this session. But before that, we have to understand other things, other necessary things we require for make a calculator application. So these are the data types I have written here. So what is it exactly? So data types, integers, floating point number, string, what it is. So you already identified and get usual with strings, something which is under the double quotes or the single quotes. It is defined as a string. So if you are written it is, if you written hello in the quotes, double quotes or the single quotes, it will identify as a string. And if you define any number as it is, these are called as integers. Floating point numbers are nothing but after the some value after the point, means it is not a perfect integer. This is called a floating point integer. Okay. So we will work through it, and another thing we have to understand, that is a variable. So we will move toward the variable. Clear our drawing. Make it here. Yeah. So how to define variable and what are the variable? Okay. So let's move again here. I'm going to clear everything. Clear our drawings. Yeah. This, yes. So variable. 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 So variable is, you can say something like, okay, alright. If imagine you have a box, okay, in the box you have contain some or put something. For example, you have put all the shoes in it, okay. So what do you call this? Is a shoe box, okay. If in the box you gather all the dust or all the waste material, you call it a waste box. So just like this variable, this is a box variable. It does certain amount of memory in your computer, which gather, which allocate to the number or the string which you get a name to the data value in it. For example, if I want to store the string or the number, so where should I store it? It will be stored in this box. If I name this box A, so A is the variable. A will contain any data, either it is number, either it is string. It will be stored in this A and we can use it again. So let's try it out. Okay, so we will, okay, I'm defining this. Okay, so print variable. So I'm defining a equal to 10. Okay, so I'm going to print a. So now I don't have to write 10 again. I will write a as it is. A is not a string, so I am not use the double quotes. I have used the variable, which is as it is. The numbers and the variables are used as it is. So when I say print a, what a contains? A contains 10. So let's run again. Okay, I'm going to run it. Variable and the printed the value of a is 10. So what exactly happened here? So when we say a equal to 10, we are saying, hey variable a, hey the box a, store the value 10 inside you. So a is storing the value inside a. So what else we can store in the variable? We can store also the strings in the same variable. If you are already familiar with C and Java, you have to define just like int a, okay, char a, string a. In Python, you have very independent, and Python will do it automatically. According to data, it will store, it will define the data type of it. So I am saying Python, so it will display Python here. So variable have the value of Python. So you can also content any number in it as it is. It will be a box, man, for anything you are doing. It will be a box for you. And for all the people who are using the Zoom on mobile, I'm again reminding you, if you are unable to hear any voice, you can click on the join audio, and on the landscape mode you can see the full screen. Okay, so I'm first of all Python replace it. So in Sprint again we can concatenate anything here. For example, I'm writing here hello. So I'm doing this Python a plus hello. Am I audible again? I thought there was internet connection issue for some time. Okay, I hope again it is connected properly. There was a little internet connection issue. Let's see. Okay, so no problem. Thank you. There is a internet connection issue in our area. Okay, so when we say print a plus hello, it will display as it is. I'm going to show it. So variable Python hello. Let's see. Now there are some rules to define the variable. What is the? It can be only one word, so you can't add two words here. You can use only only letters, numbers, and underscore. It can't begin with number. Variable name start underscore are considered unuseful. So basically, okay. Let's what the rule says. The rule says when you are defining a, you can't define like this, like this. This can't be a variable. Okay, it will give you error. I will show you how. I have written one here for can't. I am written 3 here. Okay, let's see what error will be thrown. Okay, there is error. What it says? Syntax error, invalid syntax. Why? Because the 3 We are defining variable with a number. It's not possible. There are some basic rules. We can't define like this also. Okay, so this is not a variable. Let's see again running. We again got an error. If you can see this error, yes, this is the error. But what if you want to separate it? We can use underscore here like this. So now sjk underscore kjdgfg is our variable. Yeah, we are done. So it doesn't throw any error right now. So we'll move to the comments right now. So what are the comments? Okay, comments. Now example, if you are writing some program and if you want to give some suggestion for yourself, and if I say write this, okay, it's my first program I'm writing. It's my first program and want to write hello world here. No problem. Hello world. Okay. Hello world. Yeah. So what will it show? Let's make it clear. Yeah, it will give me hello errors, invalid syntax, because it is thinking that it is a variable. But it is the tip is for me. How can I define? So we have to comment here, okay? So what we want, the Python should not execute this statement here. If you are seeing this statement shouldn't be executed. So I'm writing hashtag. Hashtag is the comment, a single line comment. Now we will run it. What happens? Hello world. It has ignored the statement which has started with the hashtag. Now what if you want to write a multi-line comment? I will write a single quote 3 times and write I am multi-line comment. Yeah. Yes. I am comment 2. So I will end it with triple quotes again. So I am going to show it again. Let's see if you got any error or not. Yeah, hello birds. So that was about the comments, and it will help us very well. So this is the section. You can see inline comment. This is a comment. This is a single line comment. Multi-line comment. This is a multi-line comment. So I hope you are clear with the comments section and all the variables. Okay. So be sure with that. Now the some tasks going to work. So now we will work to the flow control. If you don't, if you are getting something like the flow control, what is flow control? Leave it. Don't worry about it. It's nothing but how the flow of the program works. Okay. So first thing first, we see the comparison operators. Okay. So imagine you have to done program. Okay. So we will tell which number is greater, which number is smaller. How you will define? We have to say no, it is a greater number, it is a less than number. But how the computer will know it? With the Python, how will you do it? So there are some operators. Operators, what are the operators? Operators are the symbols used for certain work. For now, if you are working for the comparison operator, this operator which are used for comparison. For example, the first operator, the equal to operator, double, 2 time equal to. It checks if the certain word is equal to or not. The second is not equal to. Don't worry, we will implement this again. Okay. So second thing is not equal to. Third is less than. Fourth greater than. So we will do it. Okay. We will not stick with it. Okay. We will practically do it. It's very important to do. So now comparison operator. What is it exactly? Let's see what is it. The number is greater or number is 2. We will write the print. Okay. Is 4 greater than 1? What do you think? We will run it. Okay. We will not think much. True. Wow. We know it, but the computer understands by this way. 4 is greater than 1. Of course it is. And by this way, uh, what is the Saurabh Dak iska top? Okay, so there is a quote question. Why do you put them in a quote? For putting the quote, what I am saying, this is a string. The something I already defined for the newcomers. The certain thing which is in the double quotes, it is string, and certain thing which are without the strings. Okay, this will identify the numbers or the variables. Okay, again. So 4 greater than 1, what is say? It is a comparison operator. 4 greater than 1, it is a true. Now we will use the 4 smaller than 1, less than. Okay, what it say? It is false. Of course we know. Is 4 equal to what? We are saying double equal to. Okay, the very first time for the variables we have used the single equal to. This is the assignment operator. They have a name. Don't remember the name. We have to assign. For example, when we say a equal to 1, this is the assignment. The value of 1 will be stored in the a. And when we are saying 4 equal to 1, which is double equal to 1, is the comparison operator we define. Is it true or not? Let's run it. Let's clear it. Yeah, it is false. So it is not equal to 1. Is 4 equal to 4? Let's say. Yes, 4 equal to 4. Now certain things the not equal to. So it is a negation, okay? Not equal to. 4 not equal to 4. False. Let's see. Yes, it is false. So that's how all the comparison operator works. Let's move toward the next thing. Now if you can see the less than or greater equal to. So the same thing as we have done in college. If you have done means anything, for example is 4. Yeah, I'm going to give same example. 4 is less than equal to 10. Okay, so it is true, but I'm going to change it for 4. Okay, so why it is true? 4 less than equal to 4, what it means? Any number below 4, it will be acceptable as a true. And the number equal to 4, we are written the equal to also there. So it will be acceptable also true. So for same goes for the greater than parameter. Okay, so I'll put here 1. 4 greater than equal to 1, we know it is true. Yes. So if you write a 4 again, it will again a true. So now let's move to a different thing. These are the Boolean operator. So you can feel that this is something little different if you are completely new to the programming. So don't worry. We will make sure this we will only do certainly that it will make you to write a program. Okay. So there are 3 Boolean operators. What do you mean by Boolean operators? The Boolean operators give only 2 outputs, true or false. You have to look here, okay? You have to look here, this part, Boolean operator. The first is the AND operator. True and false, this is the truth table. Okay. Don't worry about remembering everything. You can always look at it for doing programming. Okay. This is the OR operator and this is the NOT operator. So how will it work? It will work. Let's see. Sometimes in the program, you have to decide many things. For example, let's see. I'm saying 2 is smaller than 4. Okay. I also want that if 2 is smaller than 4 and simple and, okay, no and operator, simple and 4 is smaller than 7. If the both condition is true, then it should give me true. Okay. Simple English, it is true. If both condition is not true, if the one of the condition also true, it will also give true. How we can say? Look at here. If there is true and the other operator also true, then it will give true. And if one is true and another operator is false, it will give false. Look at it. Let's second. Yeah. If the first parameter is true and second also true, then only it give true. Okay. Other for all using the AND operator, everything will be false. Remember only this part. True, true, true. Only this simple thing. Don't worry many things. Okay. So if both are true, then it will give you true. So if I am saying 7 is smaller than 5. So this statement is true, but this statement is false, and I have written AND here. So both statements will be true. Let's see what the computer gives the output. It is false. So both are not true. So what should we do? If your one of the condition is possible, it's okay. For example, if you are living in the India, okay, and if you have the age over 18, then only you can vote. So that is the condition where we use the and operator. Understand? But sometimes if you are if you want to go to the movie, okay, and let's see, if you have money, it is important. And for the some movies, it not necessary to you should be age above 18. Okay, so one of the parameter can be okay. So there you can use the or. For example, now you know that this part is true and this part is false. But we can say if one of the parameter is true, it will be okay for us. Let's see it will work or not. So it is true. We say, for example, the example we are given, if you are under 18 or above 18, we don't care. If you have money to buy a ticket, we care. One of the parameters satisfied, it's okay. So there are other things called as a not operator. So what it is? Okay, it is coming. Yeah, not true, false. Okay. Uh, what is happening? Yeah, not true, false, and not false, true. There is certain we will do that part in the next program. Okay, we have to define a calculator. We will use it, and not true and not false is basically is nothing but opposite of it. Let's do it now only. Okay, no problem. So we are saying print. Okay, not true. So 1 greater than 2. Not like this. Okay, wait. Not true. Yeah. So 2 greater than 3, not true. Now we have to define a true as it is. We will display it now. Wait, a certain error here. What it is? We'll do it again. Wait for a certain time. We will do this operator again. Let's move toward the another thing, which is the conditional statement. Okay. So in Python program, the if statement is how you perform this sort of decision making. For example, you have to do certain operation if it satisfies some condition. Again, take the example, to vote you have to be above 18 years older or 18 years. So if you can see this thing, okay, if expression, what this expression said, this is the condition, we will write the if, and if it is the condition is satisfied, then all the program will be work, or else the code will not be work. Okay, so how it is, how we use the if statement here. Okay, any doubts here? Let's see. Yeah, wait. Yeah, so we will move toward the if part. What is if? So if is certain, for example, I am telling a equal to 10. Okay, so if a equal to 10, so now this is the comparison operator. Now we will use a colon here and we'll press enter. Now this part is the 4 spaces. Understand? 1 2 3 4. Else this part should be 1 tab here. 4 spaces equal to 1 tab. Either you have to use 4 spaces, 4 spaces, or 1 tab in Python. So I'm going to write the code. Okay, so if a equal to 10, print hello. So I'm going to execute it. Will it work or not? Let's see. Let's clear this. Hello. So we can see hello here because our condition is satisfied. What is the condition here? A equal to 10. What is if? We are saying if this is true, then only execute this statement. We can write multiple statement here. Print hi. We can see this again, print hello hi, so it will be get displayed. So what it is, the condition is not true. Is a equal to 9? Let's see it will work or not. So it doesn't work, it doesn't show anything at all. So this is out of loop. So how we can say it is out of loop? Let's see. Print I am out of if statement. We will run it again. Okay. I am out of if statement. Run it again. I am out of if statement is as output. So a equal to 9. When we say the code inside this block is not run, it doesn't execute. But when we'll again do it, a equal to 10, it will be get executed. If you are thinking it is getting over up, out of your means or from your mind, don't worry. You will have the notes again. Okay. So if you can see here, hello is also executed, hi is also executed, I am out of this statement is also executed. So what really happened here? The computer, it identify the a have the value of 10, so it is true. So under this block, these statements are executed. But after running this, it comes out of this statement and come here. Okay, it comes out of the statement. This statement is executed. Wait. Guys, am I audible to everyone? Again? Yes, okay. Guys, after some time, if the Zoom meeting can be get disconnected due to the 40-minute limit of the session, so I will share again the link of the new Zoom link. Okay, so it will be continued. So again, make sure to check the group. If the Zoom meeting is stopped, we will send. Okay, so what is the question? When do you put bracket with, because I'm seeing him leaving other without bracket and code. The some word which are out of the bracket, it will be are the variables and the numbers. I'm saying it again. Okay, Cruz, Mr. Cruz. Yeah. Okay, so if the meeting is get disconnected, we will connect it again. Okay, so on the WhatsApp group, we will share the link. So we will continue it again. So this was about the if statement. Yeah. So now move towards the slide. So what the slide says, elif statement. If else. So you can see the code name equal to what. So we will write it again. Okay, no problem. Sometimes what happens, we have to display. I am removing this part. We'll write again. If this, if a equal to 10, again same, print, and I'm going to write a equal to 10 satisfied. Now what you have more than one condition, therefore I am going to write L if a equal to 8. I'm going to put a colon here, print a equal to 8 satisfied. Now to write else, else means none of the above statement is work. We write else here, print different number. Don't worry, what we have done. This is the symbol if else. If you know it properly, if you understand, if a equal to 10, it will print this. Okay. If a equal to 8 means if a equal to 8, this will be satisfied. If nothing, that this will be satisfied. We will run the program again. Make it clear. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to zoom again. Yeah. A equal to 10 is satisfied. Do you see? But what if I change the number to 8? I'm going to run again. Remember, we have changed the number a equal to 8. We have changed the value here. Now what's it? A equal to 8 is satisfied here. Okay? A equal to 8 is satisfied. So it have first check the A, is it A equal to 10? If doesn't, then it goes toward this path and check is it A equal to 8, then it runs. Now let's say we have written here certain different thing. What will happen? It said this is different number. So if the none of the condition is satisfied, it goes into the else block. We will do it again in the calculator part. Okay. So let's, I hope your if and else doubts are clear. It is simple English. Okay. If you are a boy, then print something different. If you are a girl, then print something different. For any number of variety of programs, you can apply the same thing. So for the else if, now while loop statement. What is while loop? So what is while loop? So first of all, understand there is a word loop here. Okay, so what does loop says? The loop says it will, if you get a proper English word, loop, what do you get by the loop? Certain thing, the repeatable, going round and round and round. So while loop is nothing but it will repeat itself. So let's see how it works. If you want to repeat certain amount of tasks again and again, if I am going to write while, okay, and I am going to write true here. Let I will cut this. While true, what is the condition here? True. True means it will be true for every time. Okay. So I am going to write print I am in loop. I am in loop. Now if you notice now properly I have written true here. So condition is always true and it will be inside the loop. Let's see what it happens. Okay. You can see I am in loop is continually printing, continually executing because the loop is never stopped. So we can always put control plus Z here and the execution will be stopped. Okay. So now let's, if it also doesn't work, you can directly close the terminal. So never practice this, okay, while directly true. It will make your terminal or computer will hang. So again we will run the program. So terminal is open here. But before that we have to do something. What we can do? If this is going to happen in the same way, then our computer will hang. So what is the solution for it? If the bike goes, okay, bike is on, okay, on the accelerator, what do we do for stop it? Use the brake. Same like that we can use the brake. So what does brake do? Brake does stop it. How? Let's try it. I have written brake here. I mean look, it only run one time only. So brake has stopped the execution. Now how we can use the while loop? Okay. For example, I am writing A equal to 5. Okay, A equal to 5. If the condition is A, okay, A smaller than 10, then it should work. I am removing the break here, okay. If A is smaller than 10, it should, until the A is smaller than 10, the loop should be executed continuously. Okay. So, but again, one thing remember, A will be same only. So it will be in a loop. So what we have to do? We will do, as we understand the assignment. So we will do A equal to A plus 1. So what does we do? For every time, okay, let's display the value of A also here. So you will not get confused. So every time the state, if gets inside this loop, it will increment the value. For example, if A equal to 1, it will do A equal to A plus 1. And what that do is A equal to 1 plus 1. So if A equal to 1 plus 1, now A equal to 2. So next time it goes, if A equal to 2, next time is A equal to 2 plus 1. So now the value of A equal to 3. As by this process, the value of A will be incremented. So let's run the program. I will deleting all the comments here. I hope it is not getting little complicated. Okay. Yeah. Can you see this? a equal to 5. While a is smaller than 10, print I am in loop a. Value of a was 5. Then it is great incremented here. Value of a is 6, value of a is 7, value of a 8 and 9. So it gets incremented one by one. And until the condition was satisfied, a smaller than 10 it displayed. Now if you want to display the value of 10 also, you can write the equal to here. I am doing it, running it again. Now the value get incremented until the 10. Okay, let's see. This was all about the while loop. So how we can combine the while loop and the if else statement. Let's see. Hmm. I'm writing true here. Okay, let's see. I know it will again be in a loop, but we are going to use if here. If phi smaller than 9, it should, I am going to increment here only. A equal to a plus 1. Is much smaller than 9, it should break. Again remember this part indentation. Okay, so how many times it is? For if you have any problems remembering how many spaces you have to go toward the colon and press enter. You will be directly at the point. Okay, so no worries. So it should break. So what we are saying, run the loop for infinite amount of time until the value of phi is smaller than 9, and we have incremented the value of phi plus 1 by 1. Okay, so after it is still less than 9, if it crosses the 9 or greater than 9, it will break the loop. So let's run it. I hope it is getting interesting. So I am in loop 5. What has happened here, man? Can you understand what exactly happened? I am in loop 5 and it is break. Why? Remember why? Because phi is still smaller than 9, and phi, for phi also it will break the loop. So what we can do, if you want to do it for run multiple times, for what purpose exactly we can use the if and else statement. Okay, so we will do something like a minus 1, and if a is smaller than 2, it can be possible. If phi is greater than 6, no. If a is smaller than 2, then it will break the loop. By this way, we can stop it. Let's see. So this is our desired output. First, the loop, the statements are executed. For I am in loop 5, then 4, then 3, and 2. And when the value of 2 get decremented, okay, the value of a decremented less than 2, it stop the execution. So by this way, the 3 statements were used. First, there is a while statement loop. Second is the if else statement for conditional thing, and the third is the break. We have used the break statement here. So I hope it is not getting complicated. Okay, are you guys enjoying? Are you guys enjoying? Okay, how long is the session? The session, yep, okay. The session will be long till 12:30. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can ask after 12:30. We will having this session. So I'm again going towards it. So enjoying, yes. Wow, thank you so much, sir. Okay, so this is the next part about the while loop. So break and continue statement, we already done the break part here. Okay, so this was about the break. What does break do? It breaks the statement. Okay, so what does continue do then? The continue will make the execution of the later part. Continue, we will use this part in the later program. Now we'll move to the next slide, which is the for loop. Okay, for the for loop we will read this thing. And what is the for loop exactly? So let's move towards it. What is for loop? So if you understand, the while loop. Okay, so while loop, what the while loop does, it makes the certain amount of statements which are under the block will execute simultaneously for the same reason for loop will do. While with the for loop, we can do multiple things. Okay, so as part letter by letter, when we do certain part of the code, we will execute it all by one, so we will get what idea and why we are doing this. So what is for loop? So basically for, when we say for, okay, I in range, okay, for I in range 10, and we will put the colon again here, okay, just like while loop, and we will print I. Let's see what will the output here. Okay, we are writing print I. If you are not getting, we will again discuss it what exactly it is happening. Let's run it. I am making clear the terminal. Yeah, terminate the clear and running it again. So what had happened properly? If you see properly, the 4 I in range 10 until the 9 from the 0, all the numbers are printed. So let's understand what exactly happened. So what is range function? So range is the limit you give. It will create a list of the numbers from 0 to 9, and it will iterate through it. When we say I in range 10, the I will be have values from 0 to 9, and till 0 to 9 the loop will be executed. Now there's certain thing, if you are new to programming, why it is starting from the 0? In the programming, our numbering starts from the 0. That's why it is. And when I'm saying 10, so real inside it the value will be 9. So if I want to print the 10, I have to write 11 here. How? I'm making clear again. So it will be happen when we say 11, it will be 10 here. So we can do multiple things with this range function. Let's move toward the slides. What we have said. So range function also be called with the three arguments. The first two arguments will be the start and the stop values, and the third will be the step argument. In the program, we only give the 10 as a parameter. Okay, I think now voice is more properly audible. Okay, the 0, 10, 2, and we will display the print. So what exactly it is, we will do it. So understand what we are saying, start with 1 and end with 10. Let's see. Again, run it, clear, start with 1 and end with 10. And I have already said if you want to display 10, you have to write 11 here. Again, we are running it 1 to 10. Wow. So there another thing we can do with it. So now I have for the certain value of I is changing. Okay. So if you have to make the difference between the two values, you can add here. For example, if I'm writing 1 here, the difference between iterating from 1 to 11 by 1. It is common sense actually. It's common thing 1 to 10. But when you are saying it is a 2, the change between the two values will be by 2. I'm clear in? Okay. So do you understand what just really happened here? 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. The difference between two values is 2. And we can do it by many times. If I write 10, then only one statement will be executed. How it is? Let's see. Yes, only one statement is executed. So this was about the for loop, and that's one favorite thing. My favorite thing will become, which is the list part. Let's see. Yes, the list is my favorite. The participant is raise the hand. Let's see. Learning and enjoy. Okay, okay, no problem. I thought there was some doubt. Okay. The favorite part. Okay, the favorite part of the Python, the list. If you are already familiar with other programming language, that's C and Java, you know that certain thing called as array. So we can iterate toward all the number of values only through a single variable. So what is list? Imagine you are going for a shopping, okay? For the one single paper, you are writing all the different types of lists you have to do. Okay, so and we already give the example of variable. So that variable, what it contains, it contains a single value. But what is there any way we can contain the multiple values in the single? Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm annotating something. So this is our box. Okay, what we were doing, the this box we are giving the name of the A. What previously we were doing, we are giving the single value. For example, in the box A we are storing the value 1. Okay, so the A will have 1, but sometimes what we have to store the multiple values into it. 1 we have to store the 2, we have to store the 3. This is called the list. In the single variable, the multiple values can be stored, and the benefit of this list, it will be helpful for your computer, because when we assign the many values to the multiple variable, means we are using the multiple variable, that much storage is allocated in a computer. For us, when we have the 1 terabyte of the memory in our PC, we don't care about the variables, we don't care about the sizes. But for the programmers to run the efficient program, we care about the sizes. Therefore, we are using list, we are using arrays. Okay, the later we will see the tuples and the dictionaries. So that much important is. So how we can use it and how we can clear our own list. Let's see it. Okay, so we will work toward the list. Is meeting correct? Yeah. So what is list? So basically I am again, A is the variable, I am putting A equal to 3. I am going to run it, but it will doesn't display anything. Okay, because it doesn't contain anything. Now I will print the value of A. It will display me 3, but I want to display many values in it. Now the normally what we can do is this. Let's see what happened to it. It has give me the list. Okay, the list of 2 values, but you can see there is a 2 round brackets. It is this is defined as a tuple, but what we wanted the proper list, what we can do is give the bracket. These are called as the bracket, and in this bracket you will store the values. For example, you have to store the name of your friend. Okay, so I am randomly taking any values. Okay, for example, I am putting the name Saurabh here. I am putting any participant, Cruz. Any participant who will raise hand, I will write their name. Okay, there is Sir. Why does, okay, 2 participants raise hand. Okay, so Nisa, Aisha, and Deepak. Okay, so we are writing the 2 names here. Nisa, Aisha. Okay, what I see directly, I have written only their names and Deepak here. Yes, Deepak. Okay, let's see. So this question, why does, so we use list for many purposes. Okay, I will show you what is the real intention of using list. So I am going to print A. So what will be the output of it? Let's see. I am going to create a terminal again. Hello world. Can you see this? Saurabh, Cruz, Nisha, Aisha, and Deepak. In the order you have written it, yeah, it has display the list. But what if you want the single value from it? What if I only want the Cruz? What if I only want the Aisha from it? How I can do that thing? Okay, so very important thing. Now listen very carefully. Okay, so in the list, in the computer, how it is stored? For example, okay, the first, when we say the list contains 5 values, list contains 5 values. So A will have the 5 indexes in it. How it will be? So a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 3, a of 4. Now you will say there are 5 values, but our counting starts from the 0. So from 8, and don't worry about it. It will all be done by the computer itself, by the Python itself. And for the a of 0, the name of Saurabh will be stored. And it is done automatically. When you are saying equal to Saurabh, Kruch and Nisa, this thing is done automatically. So it is done automatically in this computer. So I want you to understand this thing here. So when we say what if we want the simple value from it, I'm making it comment, okay? So these are the comments. So what I want the cruise. So what the value of cruise? A of 1. So again we will use the brackets here, and we are saying 1. Okay, here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's control save and go to the terminal. Now I will not clear this time. Okay, so you can see this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we got the output as cruise. Why cruise? Because you have put it a of 1. What is a of 1? The one first location from the variable a is cruise. So it will display the value. Now what if I want the answer? We will again count 0, 1, 2, 3. So it is a 3. A of 3. What is a of 3? When we run it, a of 3 is Aisha. By this way. Okay. Now that's the beautiful thing about the list. It is done very automatically. Now move to the slide. Okay, the same thing is displayed in the slide. I have written all the code and screenshot this part. If you can see spam. Okay, the spam have the 4 values: cat, bat, rat, and elephant. When we display the spam, just like we have displayed the A, we got all the 4 values here. And when we want to get the individual values, when we say A of 0, it displays me the cat. As same like that for the A of 1, A of 2, or spam of 1, spam of 2, we can display the other values. Now, okay, clearing everything. Okay, the getting list length with length. Getting the changing values in list, removing list. Okay, let's get it one by one. Okay. So I want the length of the list. What is? I'm saying length of list. So what is the length? We are saying again the comma length. What is length? The length is the function. The length is the function which give me the length of the variable I have stored. When I am saying a, it will give me the length of the a. What is the length of the when we calculate it? Okay, when we calculated 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now let what it will give us the output. I am clearing again. The length of list is 5. How we get the value? Len a 5. Okay. Now again this is the way we can find the length, and I'm going to display a as it is. And what if we want to change the value? What I want to remove the name of the Saurabh and change it to Ajit. Let's say if I am saying a of 0, so what a of 0 contains? A of 0 contains the value Saurabh. So I am going to put another string which will be saying a of 0 equal to Ajit. Let's see. And okay, cancel. So I am going to display the value of a again. Control S. Are you understanding what we have just done? We have written the list here. Okay, make it. The 5 values are there. We have displayed the list as it is. And third, we have find the length of the list. And the fourth, for the value, we are trying to change the value, the first value. Okay, the 0th index. And we are displaying the value. Let's see how it works. Wow. Can you see? The first value was the Saurabh, and now when we try to change it, it has changed successfully and to the Ajit. Now our list have the value Ajit at the 0th index, A of 0. So there another thing we can also do in which is called the deleting the values. How we can do this? For example, I want to delete Ajit. So how will I do? So when I will say delete and A of 2, just like this, A of 0, and I will display it as it is. Make it clear. Can you understand what were the values before? There were the 5 values, and when we deleted, let's again display the length of the string. Okay, so it will be easier to understand uh, what really happening. I am making it clear again. Okay, the first there were the 5 strings attached to it. The length of list was 5. Then we change the value from Saurabh to the Ajit. Then we remove one value and the value was Ajit and the length of list is 4 right now. Okay, by this way you can remove. So move toward the slide. What do we have? We can do slicing. Okay, I'll come it again. It's very interesting part and just do it. Okay, so what we are going to do right now. Okay, I hope you are done with this part. I am going to remove it right now. Okay, so now again we have the A as it is, and we will do slicing. What is slicing exactly? You'll understand. Okay, so when you have cake, okay, you cut them in the pieces with a certain part. Just like that, you want this part only. We use the indices. You said A of 0, A of 1, but what we want to get certain part of it. What I want the values from first 4 values from it, from 0 to 4. Let's see it works or not. I'm writing a here from 0 to 4. Let's see how it happens. It will work or not. By colon, we are saying from 0 to 4. Understand? From 0 to 4. We will run it. From 0 to 4. Okay, I hope it is clear for you. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when we say from 0 to 4, the first 4 values, we display this value, the debug is will be from the value. When we say 0 to 2, and we will run it again, the first 2 values are getting. Okay, I hope Deepak feels good, so I am removing my name from here and Deepak is here. Okay, so we have Deepak and Cruz left here. So let's see how many ways we can do the slicing here. What if I remove this part too? We are doesn't specify any end here. Okay, so how it will react, how the computer will react. I'm clearing everything. Yeah, it will give me the whole list. So what does it mean? I am saying from the 0 to the end of it, it should display me the value. When I say from 2 to the end of it, it should display me the value. So from 2, 0, 1, 2, from Nisa to Deepak, all the values are displayed. So by this way slicing you work. This is called as slicing. My favorite part of Python. Really. When we will do the multiple program and go to try to advanced program, the slicing will help you a lot. So this is called a slicing. There's certain different thing. What it is? There is known as negative slicing also. How that is negative slicing? Let's see. I just said you if I am A of 0 is Deepak, okay, and A of 4. What is A of 4? Let's use A of 4. A of 4 is also Deepak. Yeah, my favorite character, Kochi Kame. I'm writing here. I think A of 4 is Aisa. Let's see, but we'll write here. A of 4 is Aisa. Okay. When we displayed it, A of 4, what happens? Okay, AF4 is Kochi Kame. From 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, AF4 is Kochi Kame. But there's another thing happening in the Python. You can start from negative point. For example, when I write AF4 is as well as it is. No, AF4 is Kochi Kame. Sorry for this. Let's see. Kochi Kame. But as well as AF4 is AF minus 1 is also same. But when I try to write AF minus 1, I got the Kochi Kame. So what does it mean? The index in is reverse order also. How? Let's understand. Okay. I'm writing 0. It is 0. It is 1. It is 2. Okay. It is 3. It is 4. Again, we will move from right direction. It is minus 1. It is minus 2. It is minus 3. It is minus 4. And it is a minus 5. That's the beauty of Python. It gives you the both ways. So when I'm writing from minus 5 here, so what will be the output? Let's see. Deepak. Okay, so Deepak, you come again. Yeah. So like on slide will be shared to WhatsApp group after this. Yes, sir. So this is a very beautiful pattern. I really like it. So let's move to the next. Okay, so adding values to list with the append and insert methods. Okay, so what we have the ready-made list and we have to add extra value to it. How we will do it? I have minimized the font size here, okay, to display the complete list. Now we will try to append another value. Anyone who is raising the hand? Anyone raising the hand? New name? Okay, no problem. I will take the random name here. Okay. Yeah, 3 participants. Okay. So what first? And the top I saw the Akash Sahani. Okay, so Akash, if you want to add your name here, so we will write a dot append Akash. So when we say a dot append Akash, what is append actually doing? Appending doing, this is the a. What is a? A is the existing list, and we are putting the existing list the extra value. We are including the extra value to the existing list, which is Akash. So when we write and we will display the value again, okay? So display the value again, print A. So let's see what will the output, okay? Yeah, can you see? After Kochi Kame, the Akash is added. So by this way, for the existing list also, you can add the extra value to it. So who else raised the hand? Let's see again. Okay, so Lee. Okay, Lee. I'm going to add again the Mr. Lee. A dot append. Hi, Mr. Lee. We will display again. Print A. Okay, yeah. So Mr. Lee is also added to the list. Okay. By this way, you can add extra value to it. Now, what is we have the insert function also? Yes, correct. So how we can use it properly? So another hand I'm looking for Makaran. Makaran. Now, what if Makaran's name should be put before the Deepak? Let's see it will work or not. Let's see. Okay, I am going to insert a dot insert. Okay, what I am using here is 1 comma. Let's see 1 comma Makran. We're displaying it again. Print A. Okay, so capital is on. Oh yeah. Okay. I think there should be 0 here because wait. So there should be 0 because after defect. So first value is 0. I'm going to clear our terminal again. Yeah. So can you see here? We added by append method Akash and Lee, but Makran want to be first. So we added a Makran at the first position by using the insert method. Okay. So by this way, you can insert at any location you wanted. Yes. So now we'll move to the next part. What our slide say? Can you see this part here? Yeah. For loop in list. What? For loop in list. Let's see. Okay. The slide says you have to use the for loop in list. Let's see. We can display the A directly now, but we can use for loop also. For I in what we were doing before in range. Now we will use for I in range A and we will write colon here. Can you see the difference here? The difference is in sharing is cost. Sorry for there was little network issue here. The screen was paused. Again, can everyone see the screen here? I hope everything is everyone can see. The network issue is solved. Yes. So we are going to use the for loop here. How we can iterate over it? Is everyone connected? Okay. Can everyone hear and see properly? Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. No problem. The screen was off for some time. For I in here, we will display the print I. When we say the print I, so it will display me the all the name. So what the you can say the benefit of using for loop. You can iterate to the whole loop. If you don't want to use any indices, okay, you can directly use the for loop to it. So that was the benefit of using it. And we have already done the for loop by this way. And what the slide says next, in and not in operator. What is this exactly? In and not in operator. Let's check it, okay? In and not in operator. For example, I have a long list. I want to check if particular person is in my list or not. Let's see. Print uh, Nisa in list. Let's try out. Nisa in A. Let's display it. True. Wow. It means Nisa in A. So what is A is the list. Is Nisa in the list? Yes, true. Now let's try. Is Saurabh is in the list. When I say Saurabh in A, it means it will check the value Saurabh throughout the list. Okay. So I'm going to run it and it is detecting me the value Saurabh is not present in the list by replying with the false. So there is another thing called as a not in. I'm saying is Saurabh not in A? So it is true. The Saurabh is not in A. I'm going to run it again. Yes, true. Saurabh is not in the A. Okay, so again, don't worry about you are getting complicated and means certain forgetting about it. We'll get the notes again. So finding a value and lead the index. Okay, so how you can find the value? Let's say we want at which location ISA is there in the list. So I am saying a dot index ISA. Let me print it. Let's see if it works or not. Okay, it doesn't work, man. It doesn't work. So how it is? We are saying index scan dot index uka. Let's see again. Displayed it. ISA. Why it doesn't work? Display. two, 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 two. It doesn't. Built-in function object is not scriptable, so it doesn't work. So like this, it doesn't work here. So we'll try different thing here. What you can do? What we will do? Display everything. For example, when you say for I in A, okay. So when we say I length of A, so it will calculate the length of A. What is length of A? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it will iterate to this. So when we like print, now what I have, I will have the values from 0 to 5, 0 to 4. Okay. So I will display A of I. Let's see how it works. Int object is not iteratable. Okay. So int also doesn't work here. So what we can do? This error, int object is not iteratable. Indirectly do this for I in A, and as far as directly display it as it is, we will get all the values here, and where we are saying for I in range A, length of A. Now it will work by saying A of I. How? When we first write directly length of A, it was like writing for I in 5. It doesn't work. You have to use the range function. When we say length of A to the range function, now it will work. Let's see again. You have to click trying until it doesn't work, until it works. Yeah. So now we got the output. So you can iterate to this thing also. You can also use the combination of index X here also. Okay. What if you want to change every value of it? For example, I am saying A of I. Okay, A of I equal to 0, and I will print after the for loop. Let's see what we are doing. For every indices throughout the loop, we are trying to change the value of it. Let's see it works or not. Yes, all the values are changed. By this way, we can change all the values throughout the loop without specifically writing anything. Okay. So move toward the slide. There is a sort function here. Okay, so we will print A dot sort. Let's see how it works. None. It doesn't work. It doesn't sort it. Is it works with numbers? Let's see. Wait. We don't have to do like this. What we have to do is A dot sort and print the value of A, and when we will run it. Yeah. Can you see properly here? The list was in this format: Deepak, Cruz, Nisa, Aisha, and Kachikame. So what when we say A dot sort, it does the alphabetical order it arranges from Aisha, Cruz, A, C, D, K, Nisa. And when we say reverse equal to true, reverse equal to true, what will it do? It will be in reverse order. First, it was in alphabetical order, which is ascending order A, C, D, K, N, and now in the descending order N, K, D, C, and A. Okay. So by doing this, we can do this. Now I am going to delete all this, the string, and A, comma 2, comma 5, and 20, comma this and this and this. And we will Run it. What does it happen? 40, 24, 3, 2. Now it is in descending order, and when we say reverse equal to false, we will run it. It is in ascending order. You can directly delete this also, and it will be an ascending order. So if your list which had the number of elements which is not in ascending order, you can directly sort with this function called as the sort method. Is everyone clear? Are everyone understanding? Okay, and it's adds here. Feedback from send. Okay, let's see. Feedback will be after the seminar. Okay, you have to submit how you like it and what you will like to see in the future seminar. We'll move toward the slide. So there are tuple data type. So tuple is nothing but a list, but there's different thing. We can't remove the really values from it, and we can't add directly into it. So let's see how the list and tuple works. So exactly, if you say the same list, I'm going to add the parenthesis here and control L print of A. I will be printing L. So whenever you see the brackets, okay, round brackets, it is the tuple. So this is the example of tuple. It is exactly like a list, but the difference is it is a immutable and the list is the mutable. So we'll move to next. You can see the list of 10 and we can directly convert into the list. Let's see how we can do this. For example, we'll again take example of this. Okay, A equal to, anyone raise any hand? Okay, yes, I will take a random name. I will take the Joshua and I will convert it into a list. Okay, how we will convert the list of A, and when we will print the value A, what will happen? FC. Joshua, it is printed as it is. So it is identify as a string. Now we will convert into a tuple. Let's see it works or not. So it is also work. Okay. Say list of hello. We'll write here this list, and there will be a string which will be uh, hello, and we print it. It's not defined. Wait, I'm going to write this statement inside this. I'm going to print same statement here. You can see this list. What it does, this string is converted into the list. SELLO. Okay. So by this way, you can convert the string into the list. You can also convert the tuple into the list by this way. And next slide, we have the dictionary here. How we are going to use the dictionary? So basically, dictionary is nothing but the value you are assigning to the single variable inside the list. For example, you have to assign the single value to the different variable in the list. You can see the example here. Look at here. When we say spam equal to color red age 42, what is happening? For the color, the value red is assigning, and for the age, the value 42 is assigning. Okay, so let's see how it will work. And for displaying it, we have used the for loop here. For v in spam dot values, we have displayed the values, and for the keys, we have displayed the keys. Now just check how it is work. I'm clearing the screen here. We will be using dictionaries. Okay, remove all the mistakes. Okay. Now we saying a dict. What dict content? Curly brackets. When we say the curly bracket, it is defined as it is a dictionary, and we will add double parenthesis here. The A will add colon. It will have the value 2. Okay, we will give the what we can give is say comma. Okay, we will separate it by comma. When we are saying B, it will give 3. We will again give comma when we say C, and again colon for 4. So we will try to display dict. So what dict is? The dict is our dictionary. Okay, the A contains value 2, and B contains value 3, and C contains 4, and dictionary is the collection of all these variable and their assignment. So we will try to print it out. So we can see the output here, and according to slide, if you look at the slide, you can directly only get the values. How? You have to the for loop, okay, and we will display the key. How it is? Let's look at it. For I in dict dot values, you have to use colon, and I will display print. I will write wait value here, value, and by comma I will separate and write I. It will give me the values. Let's see it will work or not. So yeah, the values work. The values from the list 2, 3, and 4, it does work. Let's see. Again, I will try to write the same, but now this time we will write the keys. Let's see how it works. So now it displays me the keys. This part, the variable part, it is the key, and the value part known as the value. Okay, by this way we have written it. Now example of dictionary, this is the dictionary we have created. Okay, and now for the items, we can directly distribute all items, and the result will be okay. Items. I'll display digital items. Okay. So what it gives me the tuple of this particular list. A of 2, A equal to 2, B equal to 3, and it gives me the tuple. This is called as the tuple. We already seen it. If the list or anything contain as a bracket, okay, and in this set, what is called this bracket, round bracket, yeah, round bracket, then it is called as a tuple. And if it contain the square bracket, then it is called as a list, and it contain the curly bracket, then it is called as a dictionary. So by this way we can get all the values from it. Let's see. So now as from we have learned, we will see the calculator program I have written already. Let's see. Calc. Okay, so this is our program. This is the simple calculator program. I already make it. So what exactly is happening? Don't worry. If you see properly, you are written print, select, operation, add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Okay. And this is the while loop we have used, while true. Okay. I will drink a little water. Wait for some time. Okay. So when we are saying while true, the loop will be continuously executed, okay, as we are already discussed. And this is the input function. Let we will understand the input function first. Okay, the first things first, we are saying the value a equal to input, and we are writing input, and you are saying enter the number. Now we will write the print here. So what does it? We are saying to the user enter the number, and this input will be stored in the a. For currently until now what we are saying, a equal to 10 or a equal to 5. Now the input will be from the user. Okay, so now let's try to run this program. After that we will do the calculator program. It will solve all your the queries. If you have anything, enter the number. I will write 5. So it gives me the 5. But that's one thing about it. It is a string. Let's see how we can convert into string. When we write into it, you see the Python 3 version, you have to, if you will write the into int, so this again will run. Now it is the int. Okay. So by this way, we will do calculator program. So this part, the input, enter choice 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And after that, we will check if choice in 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like we are check is Isa in the list, we will check the choice. If the number 1 or 2 is in the list, we will ask them to enter the first or second number here. So what does, when the user will get a choice for the input number, okay, the choice will be checked. Is it in the 1, 2, 3, 4, or it has tried the different number? If it tried a different number or any other parameter, it will go in the else block and will put the invalid input. Let's first try out how the invalid input will work. Okay, calc.py, I will clear the terminal. Python 3 calc.py. Now we have only 4 options, 1, 2, 3, and what we'll try, we'll write anything here. And when I will press enter, it will give me the invalid input. And again, it is asking for me for another input. Why? Because I have used the while loop, the while true loop. So it will iterate again and again. I'm writing again. If I try to write the number and this 6, it will again try to ask me the input. And the inputs will be in the 1, 2, 3, 4. So what exactly? Okay, so I'll control by control Z, it will stop the execution and clear it again. So after the choice in the 1, 2, 3, 4, you will get the number input. When we say float, it will be a floating point number. We have discussed earlier in the slide. Okay, the user can give the point number. For example, 0 0.2, 5.2. Okay, so the first number will be stored in the X and the second number will be stored in the Y. And according to, if we are already done the if else loop, if choice equal to 1, you will do the addition X plus Y. If the choice equal to 2, we will do the subtraction X minus Y. If choice equal to 3, we will do the multiplication. If choice equal to 4, we will do the division. Okay, let's try to run the program. Hope it works, and I don't think you have any doubt according to this. Regarding this, when we say 1, enter first number, we will add 34. The second number is 10. Addition is 44. Yes, correct. Again, we will run it. Okay, first clear it. Now we will try the subtraction. 2. Subtraction is second. We will run the 2. The first number is 10. Okay, the second number is 5, which is 10 minus 5. When we say enter, the 10 minus 5 is the 5. Okay, again we will try multiplication here. For multiplication, we have to give the input of 3. The first number we have to input of 30. Okay, 30. And the second number 45. So output is 1350. It is nothing but a single if loop. If we properly understand it, oh God, this is only a if else part. By this way, you can create anything. When we are saying dividing by 20 first number and 4, 3, and we got the number 6.666. Okay, so this is our calculator program. I hope the program is clear to you. I will send you the copy of this program to you. Okay, let's see if anyone have any doubt. Okay, anyone understand this properly? So let's move toward the slides. Okay, what slide says? There's no topping. Here, this is just the beginning. So what we have already covered, we have covered all the list, we have covered all the data types. I hope if you're even the people we are not familiar with programming, get familiar with the programming here. Okay, I hope I have contributed little knowledge to you also. Okay, so this is just the beginning, and I will share the form to you for the review how you like the program. If you have any addition, if you want another course, if you want another session, just add there. We will provide a link for the form inside the group itself. And after submitting form, you have to submit your email ID so I can email you your certificate, the personalized certificate for you. Okay, so you have come this far, you can achieve your goal. So then no stopping. All the statement, all the thing I have cleared until you. This was all you can contribute and you can use in your thing. Okay. So thank you. Also thanks from we are from Jashanbhai Maganbhai Patel College of Commerce. Okay. And I am Mr. Saurabh Jadhav. I hope you have enjoyed this session. And I'm going. We will have the doubt session. Let's zoom. Let's see each other. Okay. Thank you so much. Can we get the recording? Yes, I will try to put recording on the YouTube itself. Okay. So I am disabling it. Stop sharing the screen. Okay. Thank you so much. I am unmuting everyone. If let me say, if you have any doubt, ask me in the chat room. I will unmute them. Any doubt, everyone? Okay. Hello, guys. The chat screen. It was a very good session. Thank you. Thank you so much, Manaskar. Thank you so much, Prasanna. Thank you so much, Nisa. Thank you so much, 0C0854. Thank you so much, Arijit. Thank you so much, Lifestyle One. Okay, yes, you will get the recording. No doubt. That's fantastic. I think I have done the good job here. Okay, nice. Thank you, Akash. Thank you, Redmi. Thank you, Akash. Thank you, Aditya Narayan. Thank you, Oppo A3. You don't have any doubt. Let's see. Okay. All. Thank you so much to sticking to the end.